Welcome back to the channel. Well, the results are in, and unfortunately came a little short and came in 4th place, so no podium finish for us. As far as the Beast Wars challenge, that said, we still have an opportunity to take the wild card slot, so we are going to shoot for that. But no matter what happens, whether we get the wild card or not, we will continue this build and complete it. That said, we'll continue on. Today I'm going to start working on cutting all my brackets for my 4-link in the back. Yesterday evening, my new plasma cutter showed up. Bought the same company as my last one, the Lotos. This is an LTP 6300D with CNC control. It's also a blowback torch, which means it's no longer high frequency and it will no longer interfere with my computer. So I can do more intricate cutting. I have been doing some cuts with it. Still getting a little bit of dross, but they're coming out really well. Figuring out the voltages, the amperage and the speed I need and the height. Readjusting my settings from one of my old machine. Right now I'm currently running just about 65 pounds of air pressure, 40 amps of power, and about 1/16 off the plate. Seems to be doing really well, cutting about 20 inches a minute. Last machine would have been, I'm not sure, similar amperage, same pressure, but I can only do about 15. So it does cut faster for me. So let's get set up. I'm working on these upper brackets. I got 2 of them cut. Need to get 2 more. I'll zero my machine out here because I've got it in position. And let's fire her up. There's the next one done. Some gloves on here. It's about time for me to drain my water, refresh it, clean everything out of here. Ooh, she's still hot. There we go. Looks good. Let's move on to the next one. Need one more of this one.
A few moments later.
Welcome back. Took a short break. Found out there was some stuff going on in the background and needed to jump on that. But I've got all the brackets cut for the 4-link here. Got the lower bracket, upper bracket. That's part of this bracket here. Same with this. Starting to knock the sludge off. Getting ready to cut the lower plate. Went around and had to make some adjustments to my drawing. Got my drawing where I needed to be. Got my model loaded up. Plasma cutter's on. Table zeroed. Let's get it cut. This is going to be a big plate. It's 38 inches by 12 inches. Setting my logo. That's the biggest piece we got to cut today. In fact, I believe it's the biggest piece we've got to cut for the entire build. Now, can I get it out? Let's see here. Gloves on. As you saw, I got the other pieces all cleaned up as far as the slag. Tap this thing around. There's one of the A's. Seems to be loose. Ooh. Come on, here we go. One 4-link plate. Cut pretty good. I think it did real nice. Not too bad on the slag. We'll get this cleaned up. Take a break, take everything upstairs. Clean it all up the rest of the way. We'll get this 4-link started tonight. We'll be right back.
3 days later.
Oh, welcome back. It's been a couple days. Beautiful day out here, nice Saturday afternoon. We're working on the rear 4-link. Let me show what we've got accomplished. Now, as you can see, I can't say if you can see me or not. No. We need to. So as you can hear, neighbors are out there cutting their yard, so excuse the extra noises, but it is what it is. Life in suburbia. Anyway, as you can see, I've got the passenger side all welded up. Need to still do everything for the driver's side. So let's get busy, get these pieces put together and installed. So as you can see, I machined myself up a spacer. It's about 40 thousandths wider than 2 5/8 for the width of the joint. That's to keep it from welding, collapsing, and make the joint. It'll fold in or tighten up as needed when you put the joint in it. But that way you can get the joint in and out, because if you make it exactly 2 5/8, after welding it's going to try to shrink up on you. It's real difficult to get your joint in and out. So it's always better to add just a little extra space so you can get your joint in and out better. So we got our back plate here, and it's just centered on the rear of the plates here. Now what I've done here is my material here is stainless steel, and I'll tell you what, guys, I've gone to this magnetic ground clamp. Wish I had done it earlier. It's like 10 bucks on eBay. It's a Hobart piece, works really well, but what it doesn't work on is stainless steel. So I got myself a small piece of 1/8" plate here, and I'm just using it as a welding table. So let's get this thing welded up. didn't carry it over as good as I should have. Just that last 1/4 inch. That's right. I'll hit it with the flap wheel, clean it up. I'm going to go ahead into set this thing up so I can stitch weld the inside. Alright, be right back. The dog wants inside. Last piece for the bracket on here is a small brace. Get it put on. Not the nicest one. I got a little off track. Had to start and restart myself. Let's see if I can do better on this side. That's better. Across the top there. And that completes the upper outside link. Good and tight. Yeah, it should be fun getting it out. There we go. Now I did buy technically with a 16mm reamer, which is 630 thousandths versus 5/8, which is 625. So I'll run a reamer through here. I can put about 5 thousandths extra clearance in here. That'll also help clean it up for any minor warpage that took place while putting this thing together. So let that set aside there. Grab our other pieces. Build the loader. Should be okay now. Let's find out. Now the bolt passes through. So I will do a finish ream on these. They're just too tight. Slide that down. Come on. Bottom's up just a touch. Now that's good. Now it's not rocking. Now I need my, where it is, oh, here it is. My wedge. Same thing. Top side, get this one tacked in. And clean the crud out of my spatter out of my tip. All right. And that completes the lower. So we'll let everything cool off here for a few minutes. Get something to drink. Got to clean up the lower plate. Get the mill scale off of it. Get these welded on. Back in a sec. Get the mill scale cleaned off. We can get this welded on. This corner is 3.5 inches from the outside edge, and it's turned 20 degrees. Your results may vary. This is my setup. Curled a little bit on the end, but that's all right. She's welded. And that, ladies and gentlemen, completes the lower forelink. All right. Just step out of the way here. That out of there. All this stuff. Oh, let me get my hat on. Phew. So there we have it. This is my 4-link plate. I'm gonna take a break, grab some lunch. Go downstairs and buzz out that plasma piece, or the reinforcement piece on here on the plasma table, and we'll get that welded on here in a few minutes. Be right back. All right, downstairs, whipped out the reinforcement piece, cleaned it up. I'm going to weld 4 nuts to the back side of this because this is also going to act as a mounting point for a skid, lower skid, if I decide to put one on. So I thought I'd build it in. So get these tacked on. All right, that's done. So from here, lay this off to the side here. My 4-link. This just lays in here. And I'm just going to stitch weld along the rest of this. Uh-oh. I think I'm out of wire. You sure are. Good thing Harbor Freight's got it 50% off this weekend. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. I had to run out to Harbor Freight. Got a couple of rolls of wire, some new lenses for my mask, and finished up welding the lower forelink. So let me show you what we got here. Forelink installed. Do have one hole over here on the underneath where it bolts up that's slightly off. I wonder if the frame just isn't pushed out just a touch. You know, less than the 16th, but enough for the bolt not to go through. So I'll have to drop it and open the nose up a little bit. Not a big deal. So it looks like installed. Now I still have, there's not enough bracing here to support the load that it would get. So I'm looking at making tie-ins. Now I did make this wider than my original drawing. Originally I should have came in through here by another 2 inches, and I was just going to do a square piece, but I've also moved this cross member back, so that changed all that geometry. Excuse me. So now I'm just figuring out how to tie in these lower mounts into this cross member. Obviously be a bolt-in affair. Probably it's an upright and an angle bracket or something like that, and either I tie in here or I'll tie in this way with a capture nut. Not sure yet. Got to ponder that for a little more time. Fabricate a few parts and see how it sorts out. That's where we're at. That's one dog's whining because I got the gate up so he can't come walking in the garage. Anyways, this is where I think I'm going to leave off on this video. Up next will be showing you these pieces as I get them figured out. And then I'm going to need to, as I spin around here, need to put in a temporary brace from the rail up to here so I can start taking all this out and figuring out how all my stuff's going to shake out as far as that. And like I said, I did get the steel yard earlier today. I got a bunch of angle iron for the front floor. I got a bunch of 1-inch square tube. They're all about 2 feet long or whatever. I couldn't find any long, only one long piece, but I couldn't find any full sticks. So this is a scrapyard, steel scrapyard. So it is what it is. You find what you find. Now they do have some new stock, but I'm patient. I got time. I'll find some pieces later on. Anyways, well, I think this is pretty much going to conclude this video. Next video will be making the center braces for this forelink and working on figuring out my quarter panels here. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you next time.